if a team like South Africa gets to meet a team like Canada, both of them are on the same level until one of them scores. Whoever scores first has an upper hand in a game like this. Because when you look at both of these teams, they are not a dangerous team on the book. They are not technically like dangerous. Both of them, like I can't emphasize that. But when you look at Canada, they in this match, they sort of had that we are not gonna fear South Africa for some reason. I don't know what reason was that. And Hugo Bruce and his technical team, they have this thing of defending something that is not there. Something that is not there. They reduce Bafana to a typical PSL team. You are defending until the opposition scores. When the opposition scores, that's when now you wanna wake up and start to play ball. It is a problem. It has been a problem. We saw the same tactics against Mexico, where from the first second of the match, the entire team decides to defend. You come into this match and it's the same thing. You substitute a player like Mofokeng for a player like Bata. And make no mistake, Mfogeng was suffocated today. Canada had to put him in a bottle today, and he was really really suffocated today. But it reminds me of a Hugo Bros typical game. Hugo Bros typical game since he took over Bafana Bafana. He has been playing without the number 10. Hugo Bros doesn't really play with a number 10. So it should not be a shock. And it should also highlight the fact that he took Relemo Fugeng and took Tembazwane as only his number 10s. But when he substitute Mofokeng for Talent Mbata, and you question yourself, oh my God, who's playing number 10 right now? Because of now, Apolis play as a winger, Remy play as a winger, Maseko today also was suffocated here and then, and Maseko also has this tendency of playing with one feet. But like guys, in my preview for this match, I said it like South Africa being here on its own is a privilege. So hence today there's no much of a crash out. Like we don't really crash out today because being here, like reaching the knockout stages on its own was like winning the World Cup for us. This is the team that hasn't been to the World Cup for the past 16 years, and when we come here, we didn't really expect to go on and play the final or win the World Cup. Like I said, if it did happen, it was gonna be a bonus. If it did happen, it was gonna be something that it is worth celebrating more than here. This is worth celebrating. South Africa reaching the knockout stages of the World Cup for the first time. It's something that is bigger than life itself. Remember, this team started playing the World Cup in 1998. And from 1998, when you count until 2026, there's been like 3 or 4 editions of World Cup that South Africa has never been to. We didn't qualify for it. So when you look at our entire performances at the World Cup, we have been good, but not good enough to make it out of the group stages. So when we come into the World Cup and be able to reach the knockout stages, I emphasize that it is a good thing. But the entire team today played well. I can't really fault much, and I've never been a person who really points to players and say this player was bad, this player was good. I believe Bafana and Hugo Bruce himself, credit that should be given to him is that he instilled this brotherhood in this team. He instilled a thing of playing as a unity in this team. So this team, when they win as one and they lose as one. But special shout out to a player like Mbokazi, special shout out to a player like Ronwen Williams. They've been outstanding. Emil Ocon is a silent winner in this Bafana team. We are looking at Mbokazi, we are looking at your Mofokeng, we are looking at your Williams, your Tebogo Mokoena. Tebogo Mokoena also today was very, very silent. You could see that this is a person who didn't play the last game. He was missing in this game. But not that all fault is for him. No, the entire fault goes from the technical team to the players themselves. Today we really didn't leak. It was going to be an injustice. For me as a South African, I'm sorry to say this, but it was going to be an injustice if Canada didn't win this match. Canada deserved to win this match. Because what the hell was that? What in the hell was that? We didn't really play today. Maybe after the first 20 minutes, that's when I can say we didn't really play, because the first 20 minutes was convincing. Our performance was like, okay, maybe there's something that we can get out of this match. And you can never get a better opponent as a South African like Canada. This was far the best opponent that we can get so that we can progress to the to the round of 16. But if we're gonna come against a Canada that plays in the first 20 minutes and they still lost themselves, they don't know what they are doing, and when as a Hugo Bros, you decide that your team is gonna defend from start to finish the same way you did against Mexico, you are bound to lose that game. And oh boy, we did really lose that game. But hey, it's one of those, man. Like I said, for a team that hasn't been to the World Cup for 16 years, there's a lessons that we really needed to learn, and today we learned those lessons. We learned one of the lessons that we learned is that in the World Cup, you play to attack, not to defend. This PSL tactics of defending the first minute, and when the opposition scores, that's when you wake up from the sleep that you are in. It's not gonna work. It doesn't work, and today it was one of those days that we were proven to. We are proven as a nation that it doesn't work, this football of us of trying to defend and defend and defend and hope for extra time, and maybe in extra time you play well and hope for penalties and rely on the goalkeeper who's as incredible as Ronwen Williams. It really doesn't work. We get our chances. These were the chances that we should have put Canada under pressure. Huh? How do you play Asitole as a winger? And he didn't, like, make no mistake, Setole didn't really do much of faults today. So I'm not even putting blame to him. But how do you do that? How much of pressure are you gonna put in the opposition? How do you take out number 10 and put a central defender like Talent Mbata, whereas you have Teboho Mokoena, who's a central defender. You have Asitolo, who's a central defender himself. So that means you are now defending with 7 players. That's very, very questionable from Hugo Bros. That's not how you wanna play your last game. Hugo Bros should have learned better. Like, I thought maybe as a team they learned against that game against Mexico, but clearly he didn't. But again, he reminded us. Remember, Hugo Bros always told us from his first press conference since arriving here in South Africa that he's the coach, we are not, and he's gonna do things his way. And after the game against Mexico and after a game against Czechia, he also reminded us that he doesn't listen to the noise. We are the noise. So he plays his own football. He plays his own tactics. But hey, kudos. And you have someone like me who love Hugo Bros, but sometimes you can't really defend the man because of man. But yeah, it was one of those, men. It was one of those. I'm really, really proud of this Bafana making it to the knockout stages itself. It's a big achievement for this Bafana. So I can't really, really fault them. I am very proud of this team. I'm very proud of him, Hugo Bros. Since he took over this team has gone to become one of the teams that we hope for. Every time we come to social media, we cry and cry. It was because of now. Yeah, our dignity was restored. Back in the day, we didn't even care. Bafana will play, and no one cared. But he restored our football. So as much as today I can blame his tactics against Mexico, but today it's one of those I gotta say, you know what? Like, thank you, man. You for taking this team so far, and thanks to the players themselves, to the technical team itself, to Safa. Safa doesn't really get most of the things right, but I think the appointment of Hugo Bros, as much as it was controversial back then, we wanted the local coach and they gave us Hugo Bros, and that's one of the right things they've ever done, man. So Canada 1, South Africa 0. Yeah, we crash out of the round of 32, but proudly so. We crash out with our heads high, and we crash out taking so much lessons for this World Cup and taking so much things that we can say, wow, we have such incredible players. We have a league that can produce one of the best 32 teams in the world. Because of now Bafana making it to the round of 32, that means we are one of the best 32 teams in the world. And that in itself it's an achievement for a team that hasn't been to the World Cup for 16 years. Kudos to Bafana.